I agree. The week did go fast, partially because I had Monday off of work, although I ended up doing some work anyway. Not too much, though. But yeah, been a busy couple of weeks. So I have not actually been hanging out with you since we released Legacy of Morgoth. So we're going to be doing a little bit of that later on today. I'll also have the latest news. Got some things happening here. It's been a busy week this week, and then we've got a few things happening to round out November and into December. We can talk a little bit about events and podcasts and shows that are happening, and I'm going to be in game running the latest in the Song of Waves and Wind. This is with the Legacy of Morgoth content. You've had about a week and a half now to run this. I myself have not had much opportunity to play for fun, although I did get work done on Stampion here on Landreval. Yep, we're back to Landreval because it's my level 150 character. And we're going to be running really kind of where we picked up, except I finished all the Kindred of the Coin stuff because I wanted to get that done. Some odds and ends of that never got on stream here, so I didn't finish it up on the air. So I just did that really this past week. I wrapped everything up on Stampion because I've been over on Angmar mostly, and got ready to play that. So that's really what I've been up to game-wise this week, other than it's been a very busy week and a half worth of work. And yes, so that's how it goes. RIP background processes. Skype! Yeah. I didn't put you there. No, I guess I did. At one point I installed you. Alright. So hello everyone, welcome to Court of the Rings on twitch.tv/LotraStream. I'm your community manager, Cordovan, and like I say, we're just going to get into some news here, so let's do that. First quick thing I want to mention is that we did launch the Legendary Items Reward Track Season 12. That kicked off yesterday, 10 a.m. Eastern. And so there we are on that. Make sure that you take advantage of this. Hopefully you picked up your stuff ahead of time. If not, I'm sorry. You got another chance to get it right this time. Claim your rewards before the new track arrives. And I actually have, it's through February 11th. So it'll be on... I can't remember if this is a 3 a.m. or 10 a.m. Eastern one, but whichever one it is, it'll be that one. And there is a countdown clock in game for the live reward track, so you know you can do that too. But we've got a new one with new rewards and some other goodies as well that you can check out in game if you would like to. I also want to call out that we have for a limited time. This is through the 14th. Oh no, is that through the 14th? What did I say? Okay, so it was yesterday, actually. All right, never mind on that. We don't have that. Oh, no, I've got... Uh-oh. Sorry about the pause there. Alex, I've got to make a correction on my own copy here for the sales this week, because we do have the Sublime Patrons Coffer up through the weekend. That is correct on the sales copy, but incorrect on my sales page. So I'm going to have to get that one fixed here as soon as I get off the air. But the Sublime Patrons Coffer is available at 20% off through November 17th. So there you go. And we do have a page where you can take a look at it as well. We also do have a new sale. Yeah, we're adding a new weekly sale. At least that's the plan. We're going to see how things go. It's 25% off plus 2,000 Virtue Acceleration plus 5,000 Enhanced Reputation Supply and plus 100% Mark Acquisition Boosts at 25% off. So check that out if you are interested. And otherwise, it's Milan, he said, for the weekly coupon code for a free skill and Slayer Deed boost. We also this week released update 42.1. Just a couple of things I want to call out. We have both new stuff, but also a few known issues, so I do want to mention that as well. This was released yesterday. Yeah, we pushed it out a day basically because of the Monday holiday, along with some other work that we're doing. So we coordinated really a downtime between both games on Thursday of this week instead of Wednesday. So we now have the Tier 3 of the Ikurban Valley instances. They're open on Tier 3 now. The Leading the Charge deeds are available to complete through January 14th. of 2025. Isn't that when Buck Rogers did something? Anyway, yeah, so January 14th, formal end time 3 a.m. Eastern on the 15th of the year 2025. And then we also did some work on Elf, the Elf Avatar update that went live with update 42. We're going to be doing some further polish, I believe, on the Elf avatars as well. We're also aware of the High Elf concerns that have been raised. There's a few bits of the in-progress High Elf sort of work that slipped into the build or otherwise are on High Elves and need to get fixed. Either way, we did improve the neck textures, for example, in this week's patch, but there's still a few little bits to deal with as well. We also fixed a High Elf female character using the proper Elf body type slider and some other bits as well. A little bit of class work, but not a ton of it. The main one being Brawlers, Burglars, Captains, Mariners can now properly remove fear effects with their CC break skills. Slip-free, fine footing, withdrawal, and sea legs. For the Veil of the Nine, we actually made quite a few changes, and I understand there's a post from Vastin this week on the Lotro forums that goes into some further work that'll be done as well. Maybe I should call that one up if I can find it. But for the Veil of the Nine event, this is the Ring Wraith Nazgul bit, we've changed the maximum Wraith arena size, because this is instanced. There's an instance opportunity where it's swapping between instance and landscape. So it's down to 36 instead of the regular size that it had been of 45. This is really just a game performance thing. That's the better size that we've discovered with a little time and check it into the instance spaces and how things have performed since the release of update 42. We're moving it down to 36 just to make it a little bit of a better experience and then dealing with the stats and other bits that we need to as a result of that. There was a weird rock that was blocking Nona's cave. That rock is gone. The rock has rolled. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else I really need to bring here. Some bits on items and rewards. I guess not much I need to mention there. Other than class barter vendors at the fishing village of Bay Maha, or however you say that, Beige Maga, have been re-enabled and will now barter class items, bows, and instruments related to the new Ikerbon instance cluster. They now require 3 of each relevant barter item to account for their higher than intended drop rate. The cost and sandworm copper tokens for each item remains unchanged. There was a bug when it went live where it was set to 1. So you just had to run one thing and then you got your class item. And that wasn't intended, so we had to fix that. It is now set at its proper 3. Known issues. This is what I wanted to bring this up for as well. We do have a few things that we are working on for our next game update. I'll take a look at the timing of that. I don't think it is likely for next week. I don't know exactly what is set on the calendar. It looks like it'll at least be early December, but I think it'll be potentially sooner than that. But a couple of quests have been locked. The Witten, the Battle for Hitbold. This quest will be fixed and reopened in a future patch. One of the chests of the Treasure Seeker Urish Dar deed is currently inaccessible, and that's preventing some deed completion. Scaled and rotated quick slot bars are not displaying properly when relogging into the game client. That sucks. High Elves are not able to go into Grobo's house for the quest Grobo's Request due to a height issue. High Elves are too tall to get into Grobo's house. Or the house is too short. Or the doorway is too short. And we're going to sort that out for the next one. The session play for Book 7, Chapter 2, The Point of Decision isn't working. Players can choose to do the shortened account version of this session to advance the quest. And these are all known issues that just got added in the past 24 hours or so. So I want to make sure I called those out on the air. Okay, and so then I wanted to do a little bit of a promo for a community event that is happening today and tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, and I've heard you. So I got a message on the forums from uh, one of the organizers of this event who really is just like, hey, I want to make sure you understand that. Where did this one go? What happened to my page? There we are. They wanted to send me a message on the forum just to say, hey, this is going to be a biggie. This is going to be a biggie. So, tinyurl.com/Brandywine Theater if you're interested in checking this out. I'm not going to play the whole video here because I think it's like a few minutes long, like 4 or 5 minutes long. Yeah, 4 minutes long. But the Brandywine Theater has been putting a ton of work into this production, as I understand it, and it's at 8 p.m. Eastern tonight at the Brandywine Theater Center. They got their own space at 4 Oakenshield Way in the abodes of Erebor on Brandywine. I'm actually going to cut that sound down. Oops. There we go. Just because I'm not sure about the balance of it. But you can take a look at what they got going on. And it starts tonight. It's a reworking of the first version of the Phantom that gave birth to the Brandywine Theater Company. It's really the culmination of the years of work that the Brandywine Theater Company has done. It was described to me as there's a new theater, catwalks, backstage area, even our own green room, costumes, 87 different stage and lighting cues, emotes, movements, music. It was described, Cordovan, this is our best effort thus far. So you get a special shout out on Court of the Rings here for that one, because I mean, we all know I think the Brandywine Theater Company is next level to begin with, and if they're like, yeah, this might be our best one yet, then it's probably worth shouting out. So that's 8 p.m. server time on Brandywine tonight. Brandywine Theater Company doing their own kind of version of a popular performance. All right. I think that's what we got. Let's head in game. Well, before I do that, let me just leave this on in the background because it's all pretty and stuff, and take a look at chat, see what we have in terms of questions, if anything. So that is, I think this reward track debuted post Angmar and Mordor, right, which doesn't yet have the LI reward track. So we're in that in-between stage where if you've only been playing on Angmar and Mordor and you left your character behind on whatever server you were on, hopefully you claimed your LI stuff, but hopefully you did. Hopefully, So I think you're not alone, person in chat, who failed to pick up your rewards. But, Floating Chest and Urstar preventing completing the meta deed for the expansion. Yes, that's the one that I just mentioned there. Nuzumet, you probably made that post before I got to that section. Any chance to fix it in the near future? Yes, that is next. Whenever we next do a game update, that issue should be fixed. I just don't know when that's going to be. Reason mostly being is it really is not going to be possible to do it next week just due to a bunch of things happening inside of the office and around our production environment and things like that. And then the week after that, is Thanksgiving in the United States, which is our Black Friday sales, and we got a whole bunch of stuff happening, including people heading home to visit their own families and do all that sort of thing. So not a good time to release something and then head out for the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. We've learned so actually last Sunday marked my 14th anniversary working for this operation. And if there's one thing I could say that is a proven truth about that, I would encourage all game development teams forevermore to listen and heed my word. Don't release a game update on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Don't do it before Christmas either. So we're not going to do that. And so that probably means that our next really available patch time is going to be the week after, which would be the first week in December. However, in the first week of December, we do have some stuff happening. So a lot of this is going to align with, I think, a fairly substantive release, even if the actual patch notes themselves are a point two style set of notes, and that is Wednesday, December 4th. We are currently set to have uh, Treebeard go to Far Honorian and the Waste. They'll be going up to level 105 on Treebeard. Tentatively, early December is when we're planning to take a look at Angmar and Mordor. I don't know if it's going to be that date specifically, although it could be. We'll see. We'll see. We're going to actually try to have a little more information about when Moria is hitting Angmar and Mordor very soon here. So let me wait for that rather than speak to it today. And then also that day we have our next Casual Stroll live stream in addition to 42.2. So that Wednesday, December 4th, could be a pretty busy day, and that's probably when we're going to see the fixes for the things I just mentioned. Next week is really a lot of things happening inside of the office, and then the week after is going to be Black Friday stuff. In terms of Black Friday, I can't tell you what's going to be on sale. It's probably going to be in the ballpark of what you would expect us to do if you've been paying attention to what we do for Black Friday, and I think it'll be a good one, and that's going to be kicking off probably that we'll have more. It'll be up on the website and on the store when it's ready, but we usually like to try to get that live the day before Thanksgiving rather than on, just so that in case we need to do something, we don't have to do stuff on Thanksgiving, which can be a logistical challenge. So expect it to probably go live that Wednesday afternoon sometime. Well, Sam, what I mean is a weekly sale to the rotation. We have, what, a dozen or so sales that we use, and they typically cycle in and out. And so now we're adding a new one, is what I meant to say about that weekly sale. What happened to the engine update to the game? I'm not sure what you mean by that. I'm sorry. You need to explain yourself a little bit more. Not sure what you mean by that. It's a big topic, talking about game engines. But we haven't promised anything, so. Yes, Yao on D&Co du Milieu have previewed all the housing items for the new reward track. So go there. You hadn't seen him at the time of the Cave Troll stream yesterday, but Scenario really delivered with his furniture combined into a single hook idea. Yeah, I think so too. Exactly. And let me see. Let me see if I can just find that article and put it into Twitch chat here. Put it up on the screen. Sadly, I did not have an opportunity to do an article like this myself. But yes, let me thank Yao for doing that. Amazing work as always. Here we go. So we could. Screen isn't really doing this any favors, but let me see what we got. Yeah, you could kind of see it here, like the den setting, right? Cool. All right, I'm going to. Yeah, there's the URL for that. Probably easier to just see it on your own screen because it's not rendering quite right on this one. How long can a response from the donation surveys take? Thank you for bringing that up. That really is what I've been doing when I haven't been working or doing other necessary things for the past week and a half or so. Is I've gotten rewards out to somewhere in the range of 160 or so people, and that's out of a pool so far of about 700. So I got a long ways to go yet, but I do have stuff out. I have been working on it. I got 160 donations out. So, and I've been getting back to people in the forums and such as well. So I'm working on it, but how long it takes, I would expect it to be. I'm probably fine to get it all out in terms of individual donations by the end of November. And then after the end of November, I'll turn around all the group incentive giveaways, and then those tend to be a little easier faster to get out because I just have to send a form letter essentially. And so I'll do that. And so I would expect everyone to have their stuff by early December. I would expect that. And if they ain't good enough, if you got something like some pressing need, just hit me up on the forums. I'll see what I can do for you. But I'm really just going through the surveys one at a time and plugging in all those codes into a email and sending them off. So, but I did want to mention, because I think this is the first time we have met since then as well, that it has been a particularly successful and amazing Extra Life this year. Let me show you where we're currently at. It's been incredible. I've already heard from the Boston Children's and Extra Life organizations personally thanking us with Team Standing Stone Games for this work. We've raised $35,500 so far, above our goal of $30K this year. And I'm not going to raise the goal at this point, because at this point the donation drive is in its wrap-up phase. But you do have through the end of the year to donate. If you're seeing this now and you missed your chance, there is still time. You can make a donation through the end of December and I'll get you your stuff. But really the promotional period of this is going to be wrapping up here in the next couple of weeks as I get all these individual incentives out and then do the group incentive giveaways. So thank you everyone who took part. I know it could be a while. You know, we live in a world these days where everything just sort of shows up immediately. And so the old school process I've been doing for 10 plus years now of actually having codes in a big old spreadsheet and mailing them out to you, you know, it's a little old school, but it's how it's done. So there we go. All right, well, let me head in game then. So like I said, I got myself really ready for just about everything, and I'm ready to start. Here we're back. I've got a nice pretty outfit on Stampion. Is basically the one from Legacy of Morgoth, except I happen to have a nice, is it a jaunty hat? I forgot what I used. Hat of the Cunning. I thought that was pretty good. But yeah, otherwise it's really the Treasured Wellspring outfit from that. But I thought this hat was just kind of fun. It made sense for Stampion, so I put that on instead.
A number of unusual folk were looking for you. I trust they were friends of yours?
They asked if I'd seen you of late, and when I told them you often have business within the meeting hall, they gave me a message to give to you. They said they have engaged the services of a merchant vessel and plan to return to their own lands, but they wish to bid you farewell before they go. They asked for me to send you on to them in the Sail Haven, by the Beacon Gate on the west side of the city. They assured me they would not leave until you spoke with them, but the honor of my station begs that you will not delay. Alright, so we're going to the west side of Umbar here. Oh, let me do my... Oh, I'll have to take care of those Allegiance Awards, I guess. Let's see, what am I doing? Clear that out. So I know I am actually late, but then you have to think that I've been working late for the last couple of weeks. We've been really busy with work. And then also, frankly, I've been doing Extra Life stuff. My game time that would normally be playing games has just been spent, you know, getting back to people and doing things like that. So I have not had much opportunity, really, to check this out on the live stream, but then I also wanted to save it for the live stream, too. So, because I do have a character active on Umbar as well. Although, like I said, my game time of the last week and a half has been pretty much gone. So let me know if you'd like to, what you've been up to for the past week, week and a half. How much of Legacy of Morgoth have you done? Have you run all this story yet? What you at? Where you at? Been running the new instances? Are you up to tier 3? Are you a tier 3 kind of person? Okay, my person must be... Yeah, on the Angmar side, I am pretty close to, the end of the epic storyline. I'm not quite there yet, though. I think I'm on, what is it, chapter 10 or 11? I have made progress since the last time we met on that. I was not certain the guard posted at the meeting hall would give you the message, but they did. The purpose that brought us to these shores has been satisfied. My son Thorngil has been rescued from the clutches of the Kindred of the Coins, and we must go now to the green hills of Penithgelem. My husband, Carendolin, will be pleased to see his son's safe return and his wife's triumph. Yes, I say triumph, though my vengeance be incomplete, and those responsible unpunished. The elf warrior Sigilith advised me to set aside my desire for vengeance, and while I refused to do so forever, I told her I would not delay returning my son to his home to achieve it. But that was not all. I enlisted her promise not to forget the injustices done to my family. If she has the opportunity to make the hated Nikasi pay for them, she will do so. I've only known Sigilith for a short time, but believe she'll do as I request. It is only that allows me to leave behind this city and its treacherous rulers. Alright, kid, I hope you learned your lesson. Don't go getting kidnapped because you want to hang out with warriors. We're leaving Stampion, and it's just as well. Ever since Asgath's Sea Shadow and Nikasi Wave Reaper fled from the Citadel of the Winds, I've been itching to return home. Tell my friends about everything I've been up to. I overheard the captain of the vessel we are taking back to Gondor discussing the voyage ahead. He thinks the currents and winds will be favorable.
It is time for me to return to the caves of the Arboretum in Velpolas.
I will bring my people from the cavern that has been their home, and we will no longer mourn, but rejoice in the light of the sun and the feel of the breeze. Nimrodel smiles gently. Perhaps by the time we arrive, I'll be ready to do this, my friend. It is one thing to speak it, another to see it done, but that is the wish of my heart. Lothario will help me in this, I am certain of it. A number of your friends have agreed to escort me home. I hope you'll forgive my taking them from you.
Queen Arwen and King Elisar would never forgive us.
I think I need to
if we
turn
allowed any harm to befall Nimrodel during her journey.
music volume down a little bit here. Let me bring up the voiceover volume a little bit as well.
Queen Arwen and King Elisar would never forgive us if we allowed any harm to befall Nimrodel during her journey.
Okay.
I do not know why Legolas is so surprised.
I've been moved by what he shared of her story, and it brings to my mind some of the greatest love stories ever told among the dwarves of Durin's folk. Legolas and I vowed to travel with each other to see places dear to each of us, for me the glittering caves, and for he the forest of Fangorn, then to compare the relative beauty of each. I should fear to let him out of my sight, lest he forget this promise. But of course, I would feel more at ease if Nimrodel were protected by the axe of a hale dwarf warrior. She reminds me of the Lady Galadriel, and I would see no harm come to her.
No, I am not leaving with them. I feel that I still have work to do here.
Together, I hope we might ease the tensions between Gondor and Umbar and further the cause of peace.
We will begin today, if you are willing.
When you have bid farewell to the crew of the Wave Hunter and your other friends, there's something I must ask. Belendor desires to meet with the two of us in the Citadel of the Wands, the better to discuss our next course of action.
It is true. I caution Nariel against pursuing her vengeance against the kindred.
It was the lesson of Cruel Dancer, who was once Galataru, that caused me to speak such words. If she followed the road of vengeance to its end, as did Galatani, she would ever return from, or would she ever return from it? Or would the road curve and bend with retribution, following her back to Penith Gelen? I don't remember the name of Nariel's husband, but if she achieves her vengeance, would it stop there, or would he be endangered? Their son, too, for whom this was done, would he be threatened anew? The lesson of Cruel Dancer inspired me to steer Nariel from this course. I've accepted the burden of vengeance on her behalf. She has my promise that my sword will seek the blood of Azagoth Sea Shadow and Nikasi, Wave Reaper.
Your friends will be safe on their journey back to Gondor. I doubt it not.
You've achieved a tenuous peace with those who rule in Umbar for now, but we shouldn't forget the Kindred of the Coins may have secret purposes of their own. Azgeth kept the evil in his heart hidden from those with whom he ruled the city. Might the members of the Kindred who remain act similarly? Sigilith and I have decided to stay here in Umbar to help you in the days to come.
Are you ready to go? Let us meet with Belendor about what awaits Gondor and Umbar in the days ahead.
Alright, going to the Citadel of the Winds.
Belendor wishes to discuss with us what the future may hold for Gondor and for Umbar.
Oh my gosh, you gotta climb all these stairs. What the heck, dude? So I also happen to know that it's going to be a busy couple of weekends in the Lotro community as well. I happen to hear that there's a big streamer thing happening on the 23rd. There's a hide-and-seek event. I know Aubrey the Weird One, Big Ed, and others are working on that one, so you can check out their channels. I'm sure they've got a little more info on it there. So next Saturday there's a big player event thing happening too. And that's in addition to, you know, any of the other bits that I just haven't brought up on the show here. Thank you for meeting with us. We have much to discuss. The people welcomed my kindred with glad hearts and cheered as we cast off the yoke placed on our city by the Empire of Ordok and the heirs of Castamere. But such a change was not without cost, and the coffers of the city are low. I've contributed much of my own fortune to the effort, but even my great wealth cannot support the city indefinitely. War is expensive. Our wish is to spend no further unless we need to. How does Gondor feel about it? Does this King Elisar desire peace? He must know the Corsairs retain ships enough to make him suffer for any war he begins anew.
King Elisar desires peace. I know it will be so.
Peace may be the friend of cowards. You must respect the might of Umbar.
Are not some battles won or lost before they are ever fought, Rothog?
What? No?
Guardsman, I must ask that you leave us.
Are you certain, my lady? These outsiders may try to harm you.
With Rothog here, I do not think we need worry.
Very well, my lords and lady.
Oh, Wonder what's
Now
up.
there are fewer ears to hear what you have to say, Armelak. I must once again voice my dissent. These are kindred matters.
Your objection is noted, Holtec. Before we discuss our next move, we must speak of the past.
Alright. Let us speak of the past. The Empire of Ordok and its Church of the All-Seeing held Umbar in the grip of fear while the heirs of Castamir carried out their commands. But that fear was founded upon terror of the Dark Lord and his powerful servants. When the Great Quake sundered Mordor and caused the collapse of the temple, we who watched and waited knew our time had come. The number of our conspiracy was few, but we believed the people would join us when they witnessed the vulnerability of the Empire, and how near the heirs of Castamir were to defeat. When no vengeful wraith emerged from the ruins or swept towards us from Mordor, the people knew Umbar could be theirs again. With the fleet from the south, Azagoth's sea shadow swept into the Gulf of Umbar. It was poorly defended, with much of its power gone, captured, or burned. The Umbari rose up in open revolt, thus beginning the Seastone Mutiny. Those of the heirs who resisted were slain without mercy. Others either lacked courage or possessed wisdom and fled. Some of these were Saclafel, the widow of Balakor, the Scourge, and a number of her personal guards. It's believed she hides now among the Shield Isles and seeks to retake the city and her husband's rule, but she does not yet have the numbers. Not all of the heirs were slain or escaped. Before he could take command of a ship and flee the Sailhaven, our forces captured Balakad, the 20-year-old son of Balakor. We held him here in the Citadel, in this tower room, and counted him as a valuable hostage.
Why have you not ransomed the son of Balakor to his mother Saclafale? Could that not end the threat posed by the heirs of Castamir?
That was the idea.
Mere weeks ago.
Yeah, I can take
Balakad
Rothog,
disappeared.
for sure. Uh-oh, but Balakad disappeared. Only members of the Kindred of the Coin knew the identity of the man we kept in this room. Even the guards didn't know. They were told he was awaiting execution for crimes against the city. Their loyalty to the Kindred cannot be questioned. One day, Balakad was safely imprisoned as he had been for months, then was not. If the guards can be trusted, how did Balakad leave without being seen? The problem is more difficult than that, for the Citadel of Wind stands upon an island. Could he escape onto one of the ships and flee that way? It's hard to imagine, but neither could he walk past the many guards posted on the island and then across the bridge back to the city without being seen. He's not the only person who seems to have disappeared that day. One of Azagoth's servants, a water carrier by the name of Saduk, cannot be found. Did he help Balakad escape? And if so, where might he have hidden the son of Balakor now?
It may be happenstance. Umbar Mok can be a dangerous place.
Who said anything about Umbar Mok?
Where else might Balakad have vanished from sight?
Saduk served Azogoth. It may be he spirited Balakad out of the city, and now seeks to rejoin his master.
I mean, yeah, that big sewer thing. There's a lot of gators and stuff down there. Probably a decent place to hide. Azagoth hid his true nature from us. None suspected his allegiance lay with Sauron, and now he seeks to follow the map he took from the Makta Corbo to some unknown end. They say we can't know his purpose in this, but can there be any doubt such a map can lead only to sorrow? There was a time when Nakasi Wave Reaper would not have followed Azagoth on such an adventure, but I deem her mind now clouded by grief and rage. If the map taken by the two of them leads to some weapon of evil, can you say for certain it wouldn't be used first against Umbar, then Gondor? I see two important purposes along the road, Stampion. First, we need to prevent Azagoth and Nakasi from locating the evil they seek. Then, we need to find... Or secondly, we must find Balakad, son of Balakor, and make him once again our captive. Only then will we reacquire our bargaining power over Saclafel and the heirs of Castamere.
A small company must prevent Azagath and Nikasi from finding the evil they seek. Who will volunteer for this adventure?
My business with the traitor Azagath is still undone.
I will accompany you, old friend.
Yeah, I should mention
What
that.
say you?
That there was a
Could
third
use your
We Have a
courage
Cave
and
Troll
your skill on
podcast
this adventure.
that took place yesterday. That's now up on YouTube and available on Twitch here as well. Those podcasts are cool. They're moving from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on that Thursday. Second Thursday of the month, I believe. Just a brief time shift because of a work meeting we have at 2 p.m. But yeah, Orion did talk a little bit about some of the voiceover work that he did. I have not done voiceover work for Lotro. I have done a little bit of voiceover work for Dungeons and Dragons Online. There was a couple of opportunities over the years where I just needed someone, and it made sense that I could do
I
it.
am more than capable of it.
But on the Lotro side, I have not.
I would like to test my Kolpeshes against these foes that claim to be friends.
Then the traveling company is set.
All right.
And the quest is laid before you.
All right. So let's we're up. I do have a little bit of flute in the game. Flute playing. With the Cape of Belflesh shanty, I was able to do with Corsairs of Umbar. And I think that's about it. I really haven't had a lot of in-game stuff on the Lord of the Rings Online side. And especially at this point, we use professional voice actors, so I really don't see myself getting an opportunity.
Mission that awaits us.
Alright, so let's do the thing. That's what we're saying. Let's do the
Hamalok
thing.
spoke of the need for many preparations before our traveling party could depart.
Go to the meeting hall, urge them to hurry. May be able to speed their preparations if I offer assistance. Okay. Alright, so let's do this, huh? Alright, you slowpokes. Got things to do, people to save. Alright, that's where I went, down there, huh? Okay. Is there a target window for the High Elf avatar update at this point? No, only because it really, although it has been, you know, a week or so, we've been busy. And so the firm deadline as to kind of when this is actually going to be ready just has not progressed enough to be more solid on it at this point. It's next. It's next. So I would say it's not going to take too long from now. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit yet. But we did do the polish work as well. And also, what happened? Okay, here's one. So, I mean, I would say target window is within the next couple of months, I would think. That would be ready to go. But anything more firm than that, I don't know that I'd want to commit to at this point. I appreciate that feedback, Cariel. We do have actually quite a few voice actor people that we use, so there's more than one. In the near future, a memoir. Yeah, well, like I said, we're about 2025, and if I remember, isn't that when Buck Rogers ends up going into the future? Aren't we supposed to have spaceships and some kind of weird disco sticks and things? What happened to that? Oh, you're right. Well, there's something that happened in the year 2025 in sci-fi. Yeah.
I believe the errant members of my kindred prepared for an overland journey even before they recovered the map.
Perhaps they were aided in this by the secret wealth gathered by Sharula and others of her sort. But we must take time to prepare our own pursuit, or doom it to fail before it's begun. The lands east into which Azagoth and Nikasi have fled are treacherous, full of danger for the unwary. Caravans leave Umbar Baharbel and follow the road of riches eastward along the Ikerban River before turning south and crossing the rocky waste that marks the edge of the Great Sands. From there is a long, inhospitable trek to the desert kingdoms of the south, from which great wealth flowed to us and back again. The treasure from the south has slowed in recent months. Due to anything but unrest? Question mark. Caravans are now slow to depart from Umbar, and that will make their masters hungry for work. I've written an offer of employment for a driver, his animals, and supplies. Bring it to Jakbir outside the forum. He should accept its terms. Before you depart, though, speak to the other leaders about their own preparations. Alright, getting to-do lists.
Azagoth betrayed the city and its people, but that is not the extent of his evil.
I need to speak to Meshka, his wife. See if it's okay that he goes.
It is not a habit of mine to set forth upon a journey without knowing where it will end.
I have a controlling interest in a number of warehouses, and I can endure most favorable rates for the provisioning of our party. Bring this order to Ibidun of Stonecliff Market. In the lower ward, she'll see it filled. Okay.
My coalfishes have become dulled from recent use. That business with the Drake, Ragrakul.
Alright, got a list of things for the road. So now we're heading out and doing that.
You wished to speak with me?
So, what do you think? Let's go on a big old pursuit, huh? Let me take a quick look at the map, see where it is we're heading. So the lower ward, down here-ish. Okay, okay. So basically I'll head up and around And that should be fine. If I can remember it. I've gotten better at just navigating without the map on Umbar, although I have to admit I am a very map-prone player in real life, not just on stream. I'm always like this, is what I mean to say. Oops. And that is, I tend to like call up my map just so that before I press any keys. That's just who I am. That's just how I am.
You have a caravan order for me from the Golden
Yes.
Queen?
The road to riches has always been dangerous, remaining a favorite target of brigands and waylayers. But in these times of tumult, it's become more treacherous than before. See what I can do. I mean, I don't know, but we'll see. It's basically the word we just got. Might not have any toilet paper anymore. TP might be OP. That's outside of the gates. Okay, that's just the city wall I'm looking at. That's what's wrong. I'm being a dummy head. Yeah, I have to admit, I am not the world's biggest fan of our Moobot that we use in chat, but I recognize people do enjoy it. I myself don't really do much with Moobot, just so you know. I find that kind of stuff somewhat annoying. But it's fine, and if people want to use it, it's fine. But I don't tend to update Moobot much myself. But we will have to get on that. People like it though, so that's why we keep it around. Because it is useful. And I like the waffles. That's true. That's true. I couldn't get rid of it because I like the waffles. Speaking of which. There we go. You stole my waffle, Swarm, Druid's Fire. I will never forgive you. Which way am I going? Alright, so we're close. Now where are we going from here? We're going... yeah, out this way. Oop, that's not right either, though. Okay. So, up this way? Yep, here we go. Cool. There we are. Sweet. What? You have an order for me from Rothog?
You have an order for me? From Rothog this storm?
I am not a learned man, stranger, but providing weapons and armor for Rothog and his hoolies required me to become a swift pupil. If Rothog is leaving the city, who will stay behind? Oh. Right. We do have that small matter of the Drake, do we not? I don't know, man. I don't know. That's what I tell that dude. Alright, so now we are heading kind of back down and across the bridge. Kind of to that corner, which I think I need to go around that way to get. So, is what I want to try to do. Alright. Rah! Boink. Hot Tub Time Machine 2, Pacific Rim, and Time Cop all happen in 2025. Okay, well, excellent. Thank you for this excellent research. I know there's some 70s sci-fi movies that took place in 2025. I just can't think of what it was. Oh, yeah, yeah. Some interesting lore talk happening here as we're getting ready for the Tolkien professor to do his show in just a few minutes here, right on Lotra Stream. After that is going to be Druid's Fire. And we got a full schedule that you can find over on twitch.tv/Lotra Stream. We got a nice full group, and we've been bringing on a couple more people in recent weeks. So, some good things. Talking about the Stone of Minas Tirith.
An
Argent.
order for supplies for a caravan leaving the city?
It's true, Phil. You're talking about good motivation. Maybe what we need is motivation to start building our hover cars and kaiju fighting robots. What have you brought me? An order of supplies for a caravan leaving the city. Ilbidun takes the parchment from you and reads it. By the time she's finished, her wordless grunts match the number of times she's shaken her head. There was a day I might have fulfilled this order, but it's months ago. Ever since we accepted Koltek's offer of providing guards for the warehouse, items both large and small have gone missing in surprising quantities. I'm not blaming Koltek, you understand, but it's curious. Nothing more than that. The dude's a thief! Thief! Alright. I don't think I can get there from here, but I can give it a try. Yeah. Okay. I mean, they're saying supplies are missing, and there's one thing in common, which is the new Kindred of the Coin dude who showed up to take over distribution. I'm just saying. It's pretty sus.
There you are, my friend. I see that the Kindred of the Coins have kept you busy making arrangements for our departure.
While I waited, I pondered the road ahead of us and came to a realization. I know very little about the lands and kingdoms to the east and south, within Haradroith, and beyond the Cape of Umbar. I do not want my lack of knowledge about this area to hinder our pursuit, Stampion.
I find myself thinking about the Gondorian scribe that sailed with us on the Wave Hunter. Yes, Kaibar.
When last I spoke, he said he had found employment in the Tor Gardens, performing the duties of a scribe for a scholar of Umbar. Maybe he'll introduce us to his employer, and this man will tell us what we need to know about the lands of Near Harad into which we travel. Scribes and scholars gather upon the terrace west of the arena in the Tor Gardens. Go there and find our friend Kaibar. All right, well, I think that seems like a decent place then to wrap it up for today. We will continue our search for some information about the dangerous lands of Near Harad that we are heading into right here on twitch.tv/LotraStream every Friday, noon Eastern, for Court of the Rings. Thank you so much for watching. These shows go up on on YouTube afterwards and are on a highlight on Twitch. So give us a like and a subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Sorry, I had a little brain out moment there. Hope you all have a good weekend. Right, let me try that again. Hope you all have a good weekend. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll talk to you all again soon. Bye-bye.